Hey folks. Okay, so with there being so much talk about the coming food crisis and all the issues that we're seeing with the food supply, shortages coming, I wanted to give you guys just a quick overview of what I'm doing this weekend and some of the things that I'm doing to get ready for it. So I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to start showing you some of the things that I've been doing this weekend to get ready. So here we go. Okay, so to start with, this is the mint that I had right here, and I had some in another spot that I dug up and I separated, and that's what's in all of these little pots right here and in this one right here. So I'm hoping with all of that I'll get a good bit of mint that I can dry and put up in jars, because mint obviously is good for tea, but there's a few other things that it's good for as well. All right, next up is these two buckets that I did the video on recently about 5-gallon bucket potatoes. In fact, you can see one of the sprouts off of one of the potatoes right there. But right after I did these two buckets, I went ahead and did that one. And then I also finished up the rest of my seed potatoes into this big pot. So I've got 4 things of those potatoes. Now these are the red potatoes, and these 3 are white potatoes. Now over here, I've got a lot going on because there's a lot of things in here that I actually started from seed, and then there's some things in here that I bought. So all of these trays right here, this is all corn that I planted from seed. And as you can see, it's coming up pretty good. I'm probably right now, I've probably got about a 60%, 60 to 70% germination rate on that. So I'm hoping it'll come up a little bit better. If not, I'll get some more seed and I'll plant some more to try to fill in the gaps. Over here, these 2 containers are some sunflower seeds I had. I've planted those because I want to give something for some pollinators to attract the pollinators into the garden. I've got some other flowers that I'm wanting to plant in the garden as well for that same purpose. Now, I did buy this right here because I'm trying to give myself as much of a head start as I possibly can. And to that end, I've got some Super Sweet 100 cherry tomatoes. That's a Bonnie green bell pepper. It's a red beefsteak tomato, crookneck squash, another beefsteak tomato, a couple of Cherokee purple tomatoes back there, Roma tomato here, and then I also got some broccoli and some Queen Anne sugar snap peas now, or some sugar snap peas. Now this is a perfect example of why I suggested a while back in one of my videos, grow everything from seed that you possibly can. Now I didn't have seed for all of this, or I would have started it from seed, but I would have had to have ordered some seed and then wait for it to come in, and it would be 3-4 weeks from now before I had any kind of growth on it. But the reason I suggested growing from seed is to save money. Well, the last time I bought these plants, a tomato would cost you like $3.48. One of these 6-pack or 9-pack trays would cost you like $4. That was last year. This year, everything's up about $1 or maybe a little bit more. All of these tomatoes, the bell pepper, and herbs, a variety of herbs which I didn't get, but I wanted to. I'll be getting those soon. They were all where they used to be $3.48. Now this year they're $4.58. This 6-pack and it's looking kind of sad because I've got to water it. That 6-pack of broccoli was $4.88. This pack of sugar and green peas was $5.48. So all of those are about $1 up from what they were last year. Now, 3 other things that I've got. I've got some rosemary here, which I did buy. It also was like $4.58. Now this is a perennial. This I can, if I overwinter it correctly, it'll continue to grow next year. So that'll give me plenty of opportunity to pick, harvest, and dry rosemary for cooking. Along that same lines as herbs for cooking is this English thyme that I bought. Now this won't overwinter. This is just for 1 year, but I'm hoping maybe I can get some seed off of it. If not, I'll buy some seed. But I'm wanting to try to get as many herbs for cooking that I can dry for storing up. Next, I got this big pot so that I could plant up this Early Girl bush tomato. It's a determinate variety, which means it's perfect for containers. The maturity in this is only 54 days, so it's earlier than most other types of tomatoes. So I should get something off of this before I do any of the other tomatoes that I grow. But also, I chose the Early Girl, the beefsteak, and the Roma because I want to try to can up some tomatoes this year. Either as sauce or diced tomatoes or chunks, whatever. Now, the Roma, the Early Girl are great for that. They're perfect for canning. The beefsteak can be used as a canning tomato or a slicing tomato. The Cherokee Purples, they're good slicing tomatoes. They're not really good for canning. It would take an awful lot of them because they have a lot of juice to them, but they don't have a lot of meat. Also, they have a lot of seed, and the green core tends to be a little bit bigger in the Cherokee Purples than it does the others. And of course, the cherry tomatoes that I've got over here are for salads and whatever. But that's what I've got going on right here. And this is why I was telling you to start from seed. And I wish I had more seed on hand at the time to start. I thought I had more than what I did. I didn't, looking back, I didn't go through my seed like I should have and order in time. So I'm having to buy some plants, which is turning out to be rather expensive. The plants that I bought, I think I ended up spending like $30 just on these few plants that I bought this year. So if there's any way possible, buy seed early. Even if it's early in the winter, go ahead and start ordering seed and putting it back. You can order it online. The farm supply store that I talked about having a variety of seeds, when I went by there, they didn't have anything. I don't know if it was just too early or if they were running into issues getting seeds. So you need to start thinking about getting seed. If you're going to order seed, you need to start thinking about getting it, I would say, in October, November, or December, so that you can be setting up your cold frames and greenhouses in January, February, and March. But that's what I've got going right now. I'm planning on doing a lot more in containers, and I've still got the garden to do as well. Now, let's go over here and look at the other big project that I've been working on today, and let me give you a look at what that is. Okay, so this is one of the projects that I wanted to get to last year that I didn't really have a chance to because I was working so much. And I took today to try to get it done as fast as possible. Now, this trench for the pipe is not as deep as I would like, but I'm kind of limited on time. I can't afford to dig a 6-inch deep trench all the way across here. I don't have the time off to do that. What I did was I took my tiller back and forth across here 2 or 3 times, which made it a lot easier to use my my Matic. So I've got this pipe already glued up, and the water is already on, but I'm just leaving it uncovered for right now because I want to make sure that there aren't any leaks anywhere in any of these couplings before I bury it. And I may move it over a little bit and try to deepen this trench in certain places because it's not that deep at all. But yeah, I'm leaving it uncovered right now so that I can just make sure there aren't any leaks anywhere, because I don't want to have to go back and try to dig it up and repair anything. So I'll probably leave it uncovered until tomorrow, and I'll probably come out here after work tomorrow and cover it back up if there aren't any leaks. Now what I did, there's my blueberry, by the way. I thought that thing had died. It was a whole bunch of brush and stuff overgrown around it. I cleared that out this week, so that was a pleasant surprise seeing that still alive. Alright, so here I've got the spigot tied up to a small post in the ground right here at the edge of my garden, and the goal is I've got a solar water timer. Doesn't run on batteries, it runs strictly off solar power. I'm going to put on there so that I can set up to automatically water my garden. Now I want to come out here and till up the garden, but it's still, the ground is still a little bit damp from the recent rains. I've got a lot of clay soil here, so in digging this trench, my tiller and my Matic both gummed up with clay pretty quickly. That tells me that the garden itself is not ready to be tilled up yet. So I'll give it a couple more days, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll till it up. We're supposed to get some more rain around Thursday or Friday, so I want to get it done before then. But I'm going to be putting a solar timer on here. And I want to run some drip irrigation, soaker hose rather, through all my plants once I get everything planted. But that was one of my problems the last few years, was this time of year is when my job tends to really slam us with overtime. And sometimes I'll work really long shifts, and I'll get home and I'll only have a couple of hours to shower, fix dinner, wash clothes, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to set up as much stuff on automation as I can to make it easier. And because I wasn't able to water the last couple of years regularly, I lost a lot of plants. Certain plants didn't produce well. So I want to get this done this year to hopefully have better results out of my garden. Obviously my beans and my okra did really well. My tomatoes did okay last year, but I'm hoping for better on all of the plants that I plant. And I'm counting on this solar water timer to really help with that. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot right now. You see my pile of fencing that I tore down from around the garden. Those are all my bean poles, fence posts. There's some logs that I had laying along the side of the garden. It doesn't seem like I've got a lot done. It's just this water line. I've potted up some plants, and I've raked all the mulch off the garden to get it ready for tilling. It may not seem like a lot, but this was a lot of work. And it really eats up the time that I have off when you only get a day or two off every week. And I've been working long shifts during the week, so everything kind of piles up. But I'm glad to have that done for the most part. I just got to go in and maybe dig the trench a little bit deeper and then cover that up. But that's fully functional now. That's one of the big projects that I had planned for last year that I just didn't get to. And I'm glad I got to it this year, because I think this will really help with my garden's productivity this year. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing this weekend. I've been potting up plants. I've been cutting down, that's an oak tree that grew up where an old apple tree used to be. So I've been cutting that down. I've been trimming trees and hedge and stuff away from the fence line, trying to clean that up, cleaning the garden up. So I've been pretty busy. Doesn't look like I did a lot, but believe me, I have. Okay, so that's what I've been up to this weekend. Those main things that I've been planning to do for a while: run this water line that you can see behind me, potting up plants as fast as I can, starting seeds, raking off the garden to get it ready to till, and I'll continue doing that kind of stuff all week this week. I expect to be working more long shifts, but I'm gonna work on getting as much done as I can in what little time I have off. I'm trying to be as active and as efficient as possible in getting things done, because these are things I think that will be really critical coming the rest of the year, towards the end of the year and into next year. Like I said, I honestly believe with the food shortages and the food crisis that we're facing, this stuff is going to be essential, and I'm trying to make as much headway as I can, as quickly as I can. I hope you're doing the same. It doesn't matter how much you get done. It doesn't matter what, even if it's just one task a day. Like I said, I potted up some plants today. I've got seeds started. They're coming up pretty good. The garden is raked off, waiting to dry out enough so that I can till it. This was the big project for today. It took me a few hours this morning to dig that trench and then tie in the water line to the house. But it doesn't matter how much you get done, even if it's just one thing. Get something done, because with what we're facing as a country, you're gonna need it. So I hope you're staying busy, getting as much done as you can, just like I am. With that, that's all I've got for right now. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate all the people that have been commenting on my videos here lately and liking and subscribing. All the new subscribers, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching my videos. I'll be getting more to you as quickly and as often as I can. I've got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm going to try to keep you guys updated as I go along. But again, I appreciate everybody watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. Until next time, take care, keep prepping, and I'll catch you later.